I can never.
Welcome into another episode of Chicago Sports Overtime. We're hanging out here with Chicago Sky's very own Rachel Banham. Rachel, how is it going?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. So we are about a month away from training camp. Fill us in on the off season, how it's going for you and what you've been up to.
Yeah, it's been a good off season. I kind of took a break from coaching this off season, and I had shoulder surgery right after season, so I just kind of focused on rehabbing that, and just kind of being with friends and family, and training and just getting my body right and feeling good for this upcoming season.
We mentioned that you guys are about a month away from training camp starting, which means the season will be here before we know it. I want to get your thoughts on Tyler Marsh, because I was with him when he was in Las Vegas, when he won back-to-back championships with Becky Hammon. He kind of, to me, was always this guy that was a little bit soft-spoken, but, you know, what has it been like getting to know Marsh, and what is he like as a coach, too?
He's so cool. No, that you described him perfectly. Like, he's so soft-spoken. He's so chill. And at first, I was kind of like, okay, you know, when I was working out, he was like, he's just so chill, and I'm like, say something, like, what, am I doing something wrong? You know, you almost like, you're so used to a coach being like, but he's been so great. He's just so genuine, you know, and you can tell you meet someone who just has like a really good soul, and like, we just talk a lot of hoops, and that's so fun for me. I want to get into coaching, and I've talked about that with him, and so he's been really cool just about talking hoops with me, obviously getting ready for season, but also for the future.
Has he been working with you guys a little bit during this off season, or give us some, I guess, like insight on just, you know, the WNBA season? What are some things that people don't know about that you guys maybe go through? Because we were just talking a while ago. I mean, now you guys as a player, you guys have the option to choose from either playing overseas, taking part in Athletes Unlimited, Unrivaled too, but what are some things that people maybe don't know about what you guys can do in the off season?
Yeah, I mean, I think now a lot of people know that overseas has always been an option for us. That's usually where you make most of your money, unfortunately, but that is the case. And now they have Unrivaled, which is a 3-on-3 league for those who don't know. And then there's AU that was at Nashville this year, which is a 5-on-5 league. So there's been a lot of options, which is really great, you know, so that if you don't want to go overseas, you don't want to be away from family for a long time, you can stay in the States, and the seasons are shorter. So it's less pounding on your body, which is amazing. Or some people stay back and coach. I coached the last 2 off seasons when I was home at Minnesota. So it's really cool to kind of have those options, but a lot of people usually go continue to play. I played overseas a few years back in Spain and Australia, and it was a fun experience.
Have you guys been able to work with Marsh here and there this offseason? What are the rules and regulations there in the W during the offseason?
Yeah, sorry. You can do whatever you want during the off season. I came to Chicago, I think 3 times now. First one was just for his press conference, and then the next 2 times after that, a few of us came and worked out with him. Me and E-Will and Mick and Mo Jefferson, we came, and then this last time I went, I was by myself. So we got a lot of work in with him. It was really fun. It was also just to kind of like get to know him better. We got dinner, just to chat and like actually, you know each other off the court, but it was super fun. He's really cool. I like his basketball mind. He's big into threes, which everyone knows I love shooting the 3 ball. He's big into spacing and playing at a good pace, so it should be a really fun season.
So we both talked a little bit about how he's soft-spoken, but have you seen that coaching side of him come out where he's a little bit maybe more aggressive?
Not yet. Like,
okay.
I mean, I think I'll like, it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be funny. And it'll be a good thing. Not like I won't take him seriously, but I'll just be like, oh, okay, because you know everyone has it. We all like. Right. I'm like the goofball on the team, but like, there's moments when you know you're gonna get like a little bit more like a serious like punch from me. You know, like come on, let's go. So I am curious to kind of see that side of him in that role when it comes out. And I know like you know how it is when people are so soft spoken, when they say something like that and they get like that. Okay, he's serious. You know, so it's gonna be fun.
What has it been like picking his brain from a basketball standpoint? Because you mentioned like you were able to coach at Minnesota for the last 2 off seasons, but just as someone who does want to coach, I'm assuming one day, what is it like getting to know and talk with, having those kinds of conversations with him too?
Yeah, it's been really cool. It's a blessing to have those kind of people in your life that's willing to like really pour into you. And it's fun to see everyone's basketball minds are different. But we've talked like analytically what's smart in basketball. The three-pointer and the layup is analytically better than shooting a mid-range. So we've watched film on that, and he showed me shots he wants me to take and shots he doesn't love. And that's been fun for me, and that's something I'm going to take into my coaching career. There's going to be so much more for me to learn from him, but those conversations have been really fun.
So Rachel, you are a Midwest gal. You are from Minnesota. Talk to us about what growing up was like in Minneapolis.
It's fun. I mean, I'm such a Minnesota kid. I love it. I don't mind the weather. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, all that snow," which you get used to it. You really do. You just need a good coat. That's what I tell people. But I love it. I grew up playing multiple sports here. I just think that people are really great, and yeah, I mean, I can't say enough good things. And of course, the lakes, like the summers are amazing here. I mean, Chicago's very similar, I feel like, in that way too.
Uh, I know you started your career out in Connecticut. You were drafted 4th overall in the 2016 draft. When you got the chance to go play in your home state with the Minnesota Lynx, what was that like?
It was really special. It's one of those things you don't know if it's ever going to happen because a lot of times you don't always have those decisions in the league. Mm-hmm. You kind of go where they will take you, and sometimes you don't have those opportunities. So when that happened, it was so cool. The timing was kind of funny because it was COVID, so we played in the bubble that first year. So I actually didn't get to play at home, but I still was representing my home state, so that was fun. But it's cool to have the opportunity to play in front of my family and friends. And we played at the Target Center, which is where I used to play my high school state tournaments. So it was like full circle for me.
We were talking just a while ago about how you guys have so many different options as players now on what do you want to do in the off season. I mean, just from the time you entered the league in 2016, what has it been like to see just the growth of this league?
You know, people ask me that a lot, and honestly, it's crazy. It has changed so much. And it's funny looking back because you always want that change, but you don't know if it's ever going to happen. You know, you're hopeful, but like I went from sharing in a hotel room with my teammate to flying commercial, and now we get these nice hotel rooms to ourselves. We're flying charter. The facilities are better. We just have access to so much stuff. We have chefs. You know, you're getting food every day. Just a lot of those things that you didn't see in the beginning. But, you know, you're like, oh, I guess it's normal. And now I'm like, okay, we're getting what we deserve.
Mm-hmm. Has it been, Marsh is a former NBA guy. Obviously, we see Becky Hammond as well, former NBA coach as well, Natalie Nakase. What has it been like seeing some of the crossover from NBA to WNBA now and coaches in that league willingly to come and coach in the W too?
I think it's really cool because I feel like a lot of people think that the WNBA is that like pipeline to get to the NBA, like that's the stepping stone, but it's like, why does it have to be the W to the NBA? Why can't it be the other way around? I don't think there's levels where it's like, oh, I want to get to the NBA. No, we want to get to WNBA. We're growing so much. This is a place that people want to be. And now you're seeing that. You're seeing people come from the NBA to the WNBA. So it's kind of fun to see like we're leveled up and people are respecting us.
So Rachel, you came to Chicago through the Marina Mabrey trade. What is it like? I mean, give us some insights. When you get traded mid-season to a different team, you're adjusting, and there obviously was a lot of change with Chicago in the offseason too. But for you personally, I mean, what is it like having to pick up on everything too?
Yeah, it was so weird. That was my first time in my career that's happened. And I don't know, I think for most of us athletes, you never actually expect that to happen unless you demand it, right? In Marina's sense, like that was something she wanted, but like I had no idea. So it was like really caught me off guard. And I'm like, wait, what's happening? And then all of a sudden you're up and moving to another city. So the first couple of days I was pretty shocked and, you know, kind of just confused. You just feel weird. But it was actually really good timing. It was during the All-Star / like Olympic break. So I had 2 weeks to come into Chicago and like work out with the girls and kind of figure it all out. So it worked out really well. I got to know them. I didn't have to like jump right into a game. That would have been super awkward in my opinion. I don't know. But it was nice to have that time to get to know everybody.
What has it been like getting to know just the city of Chicago and this fan base as well?
The fan base is amazing. They're so fun. They're so locked in on social media, at the arena. Like they're everywhere. They stay after games till we leave, and I'm usually like the last one out of there. I'm always taking my sweet time for no reason, like just messing around, chatting it up with everybody. And when I'm pulling out, there's still people lined up on the streets waiting for us. And I'm just like, you guys are so great. Like, I don't know. So I've been able to connect with a lot of them. I haven't gotten out in Chicago enough. So this
Okay.
summer is going to be fun to kind of explore because I haven't really, everyone like loves Chicago and hypes it up a lot. So I'm really excited to kind of get out and get to see more of it.
You just mentioned how obviously the fans stay here for a while, kind of wait for you guys. Has that been different from when you first entered the league too as well? I mean, it was crazy to hear you also say like you didn't have your own hotel room when you first got into the league, but now it's normal. Like you should be able to have your own things essentially.
Yes. Yeah, it's definitely changed. I never experienced that in the beginning. And granted in Connecticut we had great fans too. I've actually played in really great markets. We've all had amazing fans. But I haven't experienced that extent of it where it's like they're waiting hours after the game for us. And yeah, it's just the dedication and people are just, they're really bought in. And a lot of these fans have been around and have been rooting for us for a really, really long time. And there's, of course, there's new ones too. So it's really cool to see, like you said, like the growth is, it's been amazing.
Okay, so I have to ask. I feel like you are hilarious. Are you the prankster on this team?
I don't know
Or
if I'm
all
a
the teams that
prankster,
you've
like
been? Have you always been the one that's kind of just like,
weird, yes. Yeah, just goofy. Yeah, it's been fun. I've been like that my whole life. But definitely in the league, I've just like not cared. I'm just a goof. And I remember when I came into Chicago, I just was off the rip, just weird. And Angel was just like, "You're so unserious," and I'm like, "Absolutely, sister. Like, let's have fun. We're here to have fun." I
how did,
am serious sometimes, but
right.
I love just making her roll her eyes. It's like it's my favorite hobby.
What is it, well, we're talking about Angel Reese, what has it been like getting to know her as well? And then Camila Cardoso too.
Oh, it's been so fun. I watched them their whole college careers, so to actually like be alongside them, playing with them, and like getting to know them as people has been really cool. I think this summer is going to be really great for me because, like I said, I only got like 6 weeks to really get to know everybody. So I'm really looking forward to coming into training camp and getting to know people from the jump. But they've been good. They've been great rookies. They're so receptive to the stuff that I say and the other vets have to say in the huddle and in film. So that's been really cool to see.
So this just made me think about it. You were an assistant coach at Minnesota the last two off seasons. Has that, so obviously we've heard, sometimes when you're a player becoming a coach, like that helps kind of understand that. But having coached and now being a player still, has that benefited you in some ways too?
For sure. I think it has. When you're coaching, you see stuff differently. And when you're playing, you see stuff differently. And when I'm coaching, I'm like, oh, that is so frustrating. Like, that's so annoying, like, that they're doing that. So when I'm playing, I catch myself sometimes doing things that I know I'd be annoyed of if I was coaching. So it kind of like cues me, like, okay, like, lock in, sister. Like, so I see stuff, though, like,
Yeah.
just differently now. And you're a little bit, probably even more receptive to what the coaches are saying, even if you're kind of like, nah, that's not what I was feeling, but I get it because I know that's what I would have saw if I was on the sideline.
Looking at this roster for this upcoming season, you guys added Kia Nurse, Rebecca Allen, Courtney Vandersloot is back here as well. I mean, when you look at this team that you guys have now, what stands out to you?
I think just we leveled up so much in our three-point shooting. All of them are
Marsh
buckets
loves
from
to shoot the three
3%.
ball. Becky loved to shoot the three ball too when she was in Vegas.
So I know I'm so happy. Like when Tyler said that, I was like, "Say less, brother, let's go." I was so hyped. He's been so great about that, and that's like my mindset as a player too. So we're locked in on that. But he brought in so many good shooters. Jeff did a great job with that as well, and then that veteran experience too. We're all vets, and then you got Courtney Vandersloot, who's arguably one of the best point guards to play in our league, and I'm so excited to play with her. It's gonna be so fun. She has such a good basketball mind, so it'll be good to learn from her.
Are we going to see more Banham bombs as well?
Oh gosh. We'll see. I'll try to work it in. I don't think our refs at Chicago games take pictures like they did in Connecticut.
Okay.
I don't even know why they're taking pictures. It's so funny. But that's why I was doing it, because at Connecticut they take photos of the refs, and then I was just like in the background, being weird. But I don't think
You'll
they do
have
that
to
in
get them
Chicago.
caught up to speed on that because those were
Yeah.
great in Connecticut.
Yeah. It's so goofy. We'll see. I'll work some in. I'll try to work some in.
All right, before we let you go, Rachel, tell me something that you really want to do this summer in Chicago. Or maybe is there any advice you want from the fan base on food or anything too?
Yeah, gosh, anything. I honestly haven't gotten out at all. So any food spots, any like fun areas just to go to, any good shopping malls for sure. I love shopping. I actually want to go to the Bear. I think that's what it's called. Or if anyone's watched the show The Bear on Hulu,
Yes.
it's supposed to be like based in Chicago. And I think it's called The Bear.
It is called the Bear, yeah. There's a Twitter handle that kind of lets you know when filming takes place as well.
That's sick.
All right, that is it on our end, Rachel. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you here pretty shortly, less than a month, pretty much.
Yes, thank you for having me.